back to Footy SA. Time to have a look at all the SANFL action yesterday with our SANFL update for Farmers Union Iced Coffee. Remember, it's a Farmers Union Iced Coffee or it's nothing. And just a one game yesterday, a great win by Central Districts by 6 points over Adelaide. 10-11-71 to 9-11-65. Just when you thought Adelaide were getting back to terra firma, they had a shock loss against the second bottom team with Goodrum kicking two for Central and McIntyre and Schiller among the best boys.
Yeah, it was exactly what Central's needed because we've known them for a long time, good in the last decade, winning premierships. They've been really struggling, and that performance yesterday will give him some confidence because if anything, they started playing against the AFL teams in the pre-season and they were really concerned their defensive game. They've done a lot of work and maybe that's the result they needed.
The ladder as it stands now with plenty more football left in the round, of course, as we head into round 10, is Port on top of Sturt, the Eagles and South Adelaide 5 and 4, Norwood, North Adelaide, West Adelaide 7th, then Adelaide Centrals with the win and Glenelg on the bottom with games still to go today, including Port Adelaide against the Eagles should be an absolute beauty, Sturt versus Norwood, Glenelg versus South Adelaide and North Adelaide versus West Adelaide. So still plenty of action to come in this round of football. Does give us a chance to have a look at the under-18 competition. South Australia's been the dominant team, state champions last year, and having another great carnival this year with the exception of yesterday, going down 10-12-72 to 13-8-86 by 14 points. Plenty of draftable kids in this team. We thought, boys, despite the loss, we'd have a look at some of them, including, we'll start with Sam Durden, I think, Treaders, who is one of the boom young talls in defensive players in the comp.
Yeah, when everyone likes to liken him to someone in the AFL, they're talking Carlisle from Essendon or Ben Reid at Collingwood, who's obviously been out injured. But this kid, I spoke to a recruiter during the week. I was down to Port Adelaide. They think this kid's going to go in the top 10, if not the top 5. So he is a key position player, probably more back than forward. But the young Westies kid has certainly got a good size too, 197 centimetres. Bobby, by the look of him, about 85 kilos at the moment. But he'll take a couple of years in the AFL system. But he's a talented kid and probably South Australia's best.
They're hard to find. Billy Stretch has got plenty of media because of his father, Stephen Stretch, who's a great Melbourne player, goodie, but he's got better week on week. I think his last 2-3 weeks have been terrific.
Yeah, he's got better week on week, and if he's anything like his dad Stephen, he's going to be able to run. He's an outside player, plays down at Glenelg, and as you said, Trez, they like to see who they're like, and they're tipping this guy as very much like David McKay from Adelaide, who can run and carry, bounces through the midfield and gives great drive to the forwards.
Yeah, I thought his game last week in particular was terrific when he had low 20s, and he's been a star during the Nationals. His father, son, you'd think, what, third round?
You think so? Well, obviously now the new system is they've got to nominate what they think, so then the clubs try and up that so they lose a decent pick. But you think it looks like he's going to head to Melbourne, and interesting one. I spoke to his grandma, who's and she's a Mad Port supporter, so I don't know if she's too happy at the moment.
Well, speaking of Port, the Magpies have got a great young and small player, it must be on their hands, in Jake Johansson, who's also in good form. We'll take a look at him. He's got some tricks, hasn't he?
Yeah, he is very much like a Luke Dowhouse from the Bulldogs. So he's a mature, tough little kid, has a crack, good intensity. Played well yesterday, I think 4th best player for South Australia. So no doubt when you're getting the ball in a game where you're losing against the Metro, then you're made of something because you pride yourself on performing when it's against you, and he did that yesterday.
Did the Power have a good look at him? Did they get the chance?
Oh, and there's no doubt they'll be watching him because a line of the clubs, they'll be watching him. But unfortunately nowadays you just can't hide him under a rock and then bring him out and go, this guy can play all right. So no doubt everyone else. And before I head up to Sydney yesterday for the Port Adelaide game, all the recruiters were coming to town, so someone would have seen him.
No doubt about that. This kid's got a great name, played a great game yesterday too. Harrison Wigg of North Adelaide, goodie?
Yeah, he did play a great game yesterday. He had the 23 disposals and was one of their best yesterday. But this guy's got a beautiful left foot kick. He's long and penetrating their kick, and he reminds me a little bit of myself, but then he had speed and
talk it up.
He had speed and toughness, and I thought that's nothing like me. It's a bit more like Jordan Lewis. So he's in fantastic form, Harrison, and he's a quality player. And I'm sure a team like Hawthorn, who love their left footers, will be looking at this guy.
Yeah, you never see a bad left foot kick, do you? Ever? Natural left footer.
Anthony Ingerson was a good kick, wasn't he?
He's terrific.
So there's the 4 we looked at. A good effort yesterday. The Big Metro 14 points, but the Nationals still very much alive at the moment, and a fantastic effort. Time to look at our Farmers Union Iced Coffee Medal nomination of the week. By the way, don't forget $5,000 up for grabs at the end of the year from Footy SA as we recognise the player who's hardest working, determined, and has the win at all costs attitude. And this week it's Joe Anderson is our nominee. And boys, he's having another terrific year.
He is, no doubt about it. Obviously the Roosters, and some good form this year, and I guess any time your team is we expected the Roosters to struggle a little bit at the start of the season, but their form is around the mark. They're in the 6th. Yeah, they're sitting on the same as Norwich, so they're a chance to play finals football, and obviously a transition with Josh Franco, the coach, and playing in a grand final last year, going to Sydney. So there's been a fair change under Kim McGregor.
Yeah, he spent 2 years at Sturton before moving to North, and of course, I think 17 games at the Blues, and he'll be a key part of the finals quest. So well done to Joe, who's our Farmers Union Iced Coffee nominee for the week. $5,000 up for grabs at the end of the season. Plenty more to come. You're watching Footy SA for Farmers Union Iced Coffee and for Energy Australia, tailored energy for South Australians.